Hello, this is Blah6 back again with Equestron for a video detailing the games that we think should be remastered or remade. Remaster could mean multiple things, whether it's giving something, re-releasing something with better textures and such, higher resolutions, faster load times, or just bringing it to modern hardware because it hasn't been released again ever or in a very long time.
Mm.
So my first candidate is actually two in one. It's Deus Ex: Human Revolution and Deus Ex Director. No, Deus Ex: Human Revolution Director's Cut and Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Okay.
Yeah. The original Human Revolution was a little rushed. The bosses were
Mm-hmm.
not that great. It did not have New Game Plus, and the DLC was not included initially. Director's Cut
Mm-hmm.
fixed all that. It has better bosses, it has New Game Plus, and it has the DLC, the Missing Link included. Even though Missing Link is a bit divisive, but it's overall good. It's included.
Okay.
It's literally just inserted into the main story. But anyway, that's yeah. And then Mankind Divided was released on PS4, Xbox One. But yeah, and the reason why I've chosen these two is the former Human Revolution. I feel like could definitely stand to bring the director's cut version to modern consoles and speed up the load times, better textures, and just like make everything like really nice and pretty. Like a bunch of these games released on 360 and stuff being brought over. Not to mention a Switch version would be pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As for Mankind Divided, if anything, the only thing it really needs is a next gen upgrade to PS5 Series X that speeds up the load times, native 4K resolution, 60 FPS, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just needs one of those things, and to speed up the load times, and that would just be enough.
Yeah. I mean, like from what I recall from Mankind Divided, it was a pretty good looking game when it came out. So yeah, all it really needs is like just a slight little spit and shine should be good to go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have another one of those instances a little later on. But let's go into your
Mm-hmm.
highly recommend both games. Director's Cut is still available on the PlayStation 3 PSN, so you can grab that if you want. All right, let me
Mm-hmm.
just see. Your first candidate for remaster is Dot Hack 1 to 3,
Actually, 1 to 4.
1 to 4. No,
Yeah,
so we're
there's
going
four
the
of them.
Mega
Four of
Man
these.
Zero route.
Yeah, there's four of these crazy games. But yeah, usually I mean my main uh, reasoning why there should be a collection is one the sequel trilogy that they made got one already, which was it was a very it was kind of weird doing the sequel trilogy remaster part, and then not do this one.
It's like how they
Uh,
did it with Persona 3 and 4, and
yeah, they remastered they did a gold they remastered four first, and then they went back to three or something. But it was
yeah,
but yeah,
no
so
love for 1, 2, and 2.
yeah, no one for two and two. Uh, and like the second reason is really like availability because like these games are not easy to find and they're not cheap, especially the fourth game. The fourth game like keeps going up in price every few months. I mean, I personally have these games, but like nowadays, like if you try looking for physical copies, it's like yeah, prepare to like take out a small loan or something like that, especially for the fourth game. But these are of the games that I played. I've only played the first game of this, and they're fun games. They're fun like little like RPG hack and slashes, and I think with the sequel trilogy getting a remaster, I think I see no reason why these four games don't get one as well. especially since these ones are more beloved than the sequels.
Out of curiosity, is the sequel trilogy remaster out already?
Oh yeah, it's been out for years. Like it came out it came out like in like 2018 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I think it's heavily due then.
Yeah, and so when people would ask the owners of Dot Hack or the creators of the Dot Hat series if they feel like remastering the 4 games, they're like, "Oh yeah, we've been thinking about it," and then they kind of leave it at that. And they're like, "Well, do it."
Yeah, instead, yeah, compare that to Falcom, where they're going out and remaking Trails in the Sky the first.
Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting for my PS5 versions of the first 2 games, of the first 2 Cold Steel games.
Well, don't you mean Switch, because they are on PS5 through PS4?
Yeah, but they can be quite glitchy if you play them on PS5. Especially the second game.
Weird.
Chrono cracking.
Weird. I played it.
There's a certain point in the game where it can crash, unless you do something really weird and specific.
I don't know. I haven't had any problems. I think I. Well, maybe like a PS5 update to give them an excuse to go back and fix things. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, kind of give some parity to the 3 and 4 PS5 versions.
All right. Next is one specific example, but it implies okay. So the specific example I chose is Wallace and Gromit's Grand Adventures, but I'm also lumping in a bunch of Telltale games that were released before 2015. Everything up to The Wolf Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm even including The Wolf Among Us in that. So, as far as I can tell, the only games that have gotten re-released between Sam & Max Season 1 and The Wolf Among Us is the Sam & Max trilogy and... Well, what else was it? Sam & Max trilogy... I'm trying to remember exactly what it was.
Back to the Future?
Yeah, technically, but I don't think it's on. But I don't think it's listed anymore. And that's the main thing I want done. Even if these games don't get remasters, I want them to be relisted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. One game I would like to see relisted from the Telltale is Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
that was taken down, and I really wanted to play it on the PlayStation.
Yeah. I've gone out of my way to get physical copies of Minecraft Story Mode for Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get Season 2 as well, but it's gonna be a while. But yeah. So basically just to relist the originals and also maybe give touch-ups to a bunch of these things. Wallace and Gromit Grand Adventures, I feel like the voice for Wallace has like this was one of his first projects taking over for Peter Salis, and I think he has come a long way in 10 plus years as the voice for Wallace. So I think giving him a chance to redub his old lines would be a nice idea. Would be nice. Not to mention touch up the game's looks a little bit. Like it could go from looking like this to looking like genuinely an Aardman production.
Yeah.
Like Vengeance Most Foul coming out later this year to early next year.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say Wolf Among Us could also get a bit of TLC as well.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice.
Yeah. What else? The Poker Night games as well. Those would be nice to be relisted.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the only other games that have gotten re-releases as of recently is Walking Dead Definitive Edition.
Yeah. Everyone knows those Walking Dead games.
Yeah. So it'd be just nice to see this game in particular remastered, make it look real nice, give the voice actor another chance to redub the lines, and then just relist all the other games if push comes to shove.
Mm-hmm.
All right, your next one is.
Yeah, I don't personally like a remake of this ever happening, so that's why I feel like a remaster would probably be more suffice. I mean,
More likely.
I'd be more likely. Sorry. Yeah, I'm tired.
You just woke up.
And so I think anyone who knows about this game knows like one of the biggest reasons why I feel like it needs to be released is price.
Isn't that just the way?
Yeah, because it gets more ridiculous as the years go by. But also like I do think it's also a game that when people actually play it, they do enjoy it. But there's always like that one little thing that one thing that makes people go like, but. And in this game's case, it's always been the combat, very very like clunky, very like unintuitive. And I feel like with a remaster, they could probably touch it up a little bit to make it more accessible or more not really simplified, but just easier on the audience. It mainly has to do with like hitboxes and speed and all that. Because I think story-wise, it could stay the same. With graphics, all it really needs to do is a slight HD touch-up. It doesn't need to be like super crazy. I mean, it could honestly, like someone like Night Dive Studios can make a remaster of this and it'd probably be fine. But yeah, I do think it's a game worthy of being played by anyone who can get their hands on it and not have to pay like $1,000 just to play a PS2 copy.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of games that you shouldn't have to pay exorbitant amounts of money to play, Skies of Arcadia Legends.
Oh yeah.
I will admit that I only had a passing interest in this game until the Jello Apocalypse video showing off the stuff about it, and it honestly looks great, and I really want to play it, but like physical copies go for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. You're pretty impressive.
Yeah, the story looks great. Characters look really nice. And like with the advent of stuff like Sea of Thieves and Assassin's Creed, I think pirates are back in style, especially Sky Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like there's a lot of I don't know, like it's just like there's no reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, why not do like a Switch version or something like that of this game?
Yeah. Yeah, there's really no reason not to bring it back. Yeah, like I would feel I would have more things to say if I've actually played it, but that just proves my point is that I haven't played it and I want to play it. So yeah, it just proves my point. All right, here's a game that I think we can both talk about. Well, I put Shadow Lugia for XD, but Coliseum is also considered as well. You talk Coliseum, I'll talk XD.
Yeah. Coliseum, like I've been, like I have the games on the GameCube and whatnot, and I mostly bought them through Jaden Animations videos because she made videos on the games and they look even though she like barely like showed gameplay, when she talked about them they sounded really fun, so that's why I bought them. But playing them, like they do make like a really interesting, a really like kind of for a very unique kind of Pokemon game, and they still look nice for their time. But I do feel like this kind of game is something that I think people would definitely enjoy, just because it's so different from the usual Pokemon game formula, and I and so it's like again, like it doesn't really need a remake, just a little bit of a spit and shine to look a little bit nicer, maybe fix any performance or technical issues. Uh, considering how the Pokemon Company is, I don't see that being too being too great. But you never know. They're old games. All you really need to do is just run them through a good code. I guess I don't know how this works. But I do think that these would be a lot of fun to play on like a Switch or something.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, XD, I got it when I still had a GameCube, and the thing is that I never finished it because other games piqued my interest. The Wii released around the same time, and so I never went back to it. But now that I am a seasoned RPG veteran, I think I'd actually be able to finish it now. So I feel like now is a perfect time as any. Also, Mirror B and his funky dance moves need to be brought back for a new generation. Whichever theme you think of, the Ariba one for Coliseum or the funky one for XD.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's potential. And speaking of potential, Batman Arkham Origins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone's heard that that Asylum City and Night are now on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly the best running versions right now, but Switch 2 will probably fix that. Point is that Arkham Origins has been ignored for a very long time, for the past 10 years even.
Unfairly so.
Yeah. And the gameplay is great. It has things that never return, like quick silent takedowns and such. And I will say that the performances of both Roger Craig Smith and Troy Baker as Batman and the Joker are very, very well done.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the Cold Heart DLC and everything about that too. It just the thing is that I got a version. I got Arkham Origins for 360. I put it in my Series X. And the load times are barely an issue if you do it that way, because it. Yeah, and just think about how much faster it will be remastered. How much the load times are faster. It looks a little bit better. It's just the having to get a physical version of the game and put it into the Series X physically is a roundabout way to do this. A remaster a remaster would be a much simpler way of being able to play it again. It got delisted. I want it back. Simple as that.
Yeah, I do think it's a game worthy of still being part of the Arkham canon, because I don't like that whenever they do collections for it, like this one would always get ignored. Probably because they're like, oh, it's not from Rocksteady, so that means that means it's the lesser game. And I'm like, well, I don't think it's the lesser game. Actually, I enjoyed this game a lot more than the other than City and Night. I think this one's on par with Asylum. I remember being really surprised about this game way back when I played it. Thinking because I think I was a little burnt out of City, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to play Origins, but I was like, look, Troy Baker as the Joker, I gotta play it. And then I played it, and all of a sudden I was really blown away about how good it was.
Me, I have a sort of an opposite opinion, kind of. Hold on. Sorry, this shit is really good.
Understandable.
Christmas dinner, Bruce. Christmas dinner, Master Bruce. Anyway, I respect Arkham Asylum for what it did for action, for gaming, and this stuff. Like for its combat and its stealth mechanics. I respect it very much. I think it's the weakest one because it's a little restrictive and like I feel like it has a problem with the grunts kind of being a little too. The design feels a little weird. Like how they're both kind of distinct and not distinct at the same time.
Like they kind of blend into each other a little bit too often.
Yeah, City has... for City it has different factions and everything, and it's definitely more varied in that way. Like, there's subtle differences as opposed to it just being a little too...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And like the thing is that if this were more readily available and had the advantages that City and Night do, then it would be a lot better in that way. With that being said, I have a confession to make. This is actually also a stealth. What the fuck is it called? I don't remember. This is a 2-in-1 because I'm also including Arkham Knight for a PS5, Xbox Series X upgrade as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I said 2 earlier. I meant 3. Because Arkham Knight has like it already looks great, but like with the enhancements of the PS5 and Series X, it could look fantastic and load quick and everything. Like just do that. Just give it an upgrade, and it would be even more amazing than it already is. All right. Your next one is. You talk about this while I'm going to go ahead and drink.
All right. Well, I think because I don't think this one deserves a remake like a couple other games that will come up a little bit. I'll bring up a little bit later. But I think this one specifically because this one has a really good story, has really good characters, really good humor, really good pretty much really it's a fun combat when you get past a certain area, and that certain area is why I think the game deserves a remaster, and it's all due to performance. This game does not run very well on the PS3. I think if you emulate it or something like that, it runs pretty well. But this one's frame rate on the PS3 can get pretty choppy. It's playable, but a lot of people feel like it's unplayable. I mean, I managed to get through like a good majority of the game. I'm actually almost done. I actually almost have the platinum for it. But I do think like doing a straight up like remaster of it, because the game can almost approach near Automata levels of like this looks pretty good, or this looks really good. So I think with a little bit of spit and shine on the graphics, it should like really hit the exact. It looks exactly as good as Nier Automata. But with performance, it should definitely use a really big upgrade for it, like running at like 60 frames per second, all that jazz. So I think with that, people would like kind of not use that as a reason to not enjoy the game. Like I was like, oh, I hate this game. How come? The story characters are so good? Yeah, but the performance sucks, so therefore the game sucks. So I think when you take that away, I think that's when this would.
And by performance, do you mean the voice acting or the load times?
No, like the frame rate, the frame rate, the reload times. Like, because on PS3 this game runs like it chugs.
Oh.
It's playable, especially if you're like really into like the story and the characters and all that stuff. But if you're just
it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, like but it definitely I think when you get rid of those issues, like people would see the game for what it is rather than like.
Out of curiosity, who made this?
This one was made by Yoko Taro, for who made Nier Automata and all that stuff.
I mean the studio who made this, like the publisher.
Well, the publisher was Square Enix.
Oh yeah, they're never revisiting this.
Yeah, probably not. But everyone keeps asking Yoko Taro if they're in the cars, and he's always said never say never, but you
never say never again. Talk about a shitty Bond film.
Yeah, he's like never say never again. He drinks a martini and all that stuff when he says it.
Out of a martini, shaken, not stirred. Why are you shaking it? Why can't you stir it? Anyway,
what's wrong with stirring? What you gotta get stirring?
Stir, 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 whip, whip, stir, stir, whip, stir.
Oh god.
That's the holidays. Happy holidays. Happy Life Day. All right. Okay. My next one is actually another 2-in-1. Oh, big surprise there. It's Detroit Become Human and Red Dead Redemption 2. Both of which need the exact same fixes. Upscale to 4K, 60 frames per second, and most importantly of all, an upgrade to PS5 and Series X. Well, not for Detroit because that's PS5, PlayStation. But you get my point. Because both of them load very slowly.
Especially Red Dead, from what I remember.
Yeah. Red Dead is more severe in terms of its taking forever to go from the title screen all the way to gameplay. Detroit has similar slow loading problems, and I feel like I don't know, like I really love Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, good game.
And like trying to listen to podcasts where people talk about it, and people keep fucking bashing it, and I'm just like, what the hell are you Are you not playing the same game that I'm playing? It's cheesy for sure, but it still feels fucking genuine, and that's the most important thing. One of the most important things to me in a game is that if they take it seriously, even if it might be cheesy or not, then that means that they gave a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not the weakest of the games that Quantic Dream has made.
I'm guessing you are referring to Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, I mean, Beyond Two. I think of the three games: Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, and Detroit Become Human. Beyond Two Souls is the weakest, but it's not necessarily bad. It's just the most like narratively like fractured of the three games.
Apparently, there's
and I mean there is like I think a chronological version of the game on the PS4 or something like that.
Yeah, I opened up the game and you there's two versions, the original version and timeline version. Yeah,
it was just still like a strange choice for the PS3 version to do that. But Detroit Become Human, I do agree, is a really good game. I do think it is sincere in what it's trying to do, even if sometimes it's a little bit cheesier than it needs to. It needs to be, but I do think it was a very strong game, primarily due to like a couple of stories, because the detective story is like worth the price of admission alone, really.
I would also argue that Kara's story is pretty good too.
Yeah, that one's good too.
Marcus lesser to a lesser extent, but like
yeah, I think Marcus' story is where the criticisms come from, and that's like fair enough. It is kind of like on the nose, very like it can be kind of like cringy a little bit, but honestly, like it's not necessarily bad either.
Yeah, but yeah, I do feel like it and Red Dead 2 could definitely stand to get not necessarily remasters, just update to bring update for modern console update, PS5, Series X, like just those alone to make them load faster and maybe look a little better would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Your next one. Actually, wait. I believe. Oh yeah. It's Sonic Unleashed. Well, I can kind of understand this one.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like a lot of Sonic games kind of deserve a remaster at this point. But I do think Unleashed is a something I'd like to point out. Just it kind of goes back to how I feel about Drakengard 3, where it's a good game hampered by performance problems, but it's only for a specific version of the game, because apparently this game runs really well on 360, and then if you throw this game onto a Series X, it runs like a dream.
Yeah.
It's like, but playing this game on a PlayStation 3 is rough. It's not again. It's not unplayable, but it definitely doesn't look. It definitely doesn't look as. It doesn't run as well as it does on 360 and Series X.
I will actually point out another criticism of the 360 version.
What's that?
One. I started playing it on my Series X, boosted and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the section where you're shooting down rockets and stuff, it was unplayable on boosted mode.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I think I think the projectiles are too fast and it doesn't read your button inputs fast enough.
Okay.
I turned off game boosted mode and it ran perfectly fine. So any tips out there? Turn off game boosted mode before you go for an airship section.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Like kind of like my point is that like we shouldn't have to like rely on like, or we shouldn't have to just like throw the old game onto a new console in order to get like a slightly better experience, because sometimes you'll get a worse experience on some cases. So I do think this game is really in need of like a remaster, because I mean the game even today the game looks really good for its.
People would argue it's the best looking Sonic game even now.
Yeah, exactly. And like all it really needs is just a performance enhancing and maybe some added detail.
Yeah, performance enhancing drugs.
Something like that. What?
Yeah, performance.
Yeah, need some drugs. Need steroids. Need some gaming steroids. You know how it goes.
That's called modding.
Yeah.
And also, bring it to PC and give people a chance to mod the fucking thing.
Yeah, like bring it to PC, bring it to PS5, bring it to Series X, and then you can bring it to the Switch. Even if
you can port the Wii version.
Yeah. Or you can bring Sonic Unleashed to Switch 2 whenever that comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a good game, just in need of a remaster.
Yeah, remaster would be plenty.
Yeah.
All right. I think I have one more.
I think so.
Oh, two more actually, and I think you have one more. My next one is Punch Out Wii.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love going back to this game every so often. Problem is that it's stuck on the Wii U through the Wii. Well, you were able to buy it on the Wii U's eShop as one of the few Wii games that got a digital release.
Mm-hmm.
And look, that's nice and all, but it's been what, like, it's been almost. Wait, hold on, wait. This game was released back in 2009. It's been almost 15. It actually has been exactly 15 years since this game came out.
Mm-hmm.
And just bringing it to modern consoles would do it wonders. Like how people saw how stuff like Twilight Princess looked from GameCube and Wii to Wii U. It looked amazing. Mm-hmm. Imagine the kind of amazing things that they could do with that art style. And heck, add in a couple of new boss fights or what have you. I don't know. Just like And I mean, yeah, sure,
Monster.
yeah, and the thing is that the control scheme is essentially the same control scheme as ARMS.
Yeah.
Well,
Just use your Joy-Cons and you're good to go.
yeah, with Wii U and Nunchuk, you could do it like how it's done in ARMS for Switch, and that's fine. And then for like people with who like the NES controls, maybe wait until the Switch 2 and have it done that way. I don't know, but just like I love this game, and yeah, and even if it's a bit of a rigmarole to get it started and everything because the Wii U is a little slow, it's worth playing, and I just want an easier way to play it. Like, My Sims Cozy Bundle just got released, and like this can definitely happen too. Like, and the thing, yeah, and that's the funny thing is that My Sims Cozy Bundle. I played the original My Sims a few months before that released, and the Switch version is much faster. It's so fast it can honestly shave like an hour or two off of somebody's speed run of the thing. That's how much faster I think it is. And like the thing is that Punch Out isn't even that it doesn't even have it isn't even that slow. It just takes it takes like 5-10 seconds to for the load screens to go through, and it's not that bad, but it's like something that could definitely be ironed out. I don't know, it just feels like it could really stand to get something nice and good looking.
Right.
Alright, and your last remaster is the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy.
Exactly. Like every game except for 11, for obvious reasons, has been remastered in one way or another. But for some reason, these 13 games have been left by the wayside, and I don't see any reason why it needs to be.
Well, we know why, because people hate them.
Yeah. Or people are more divided on them, but I do think it does deserve to be in the on modern consoles as much as the other ones, because I think all we really have right now are like PC ports that aren't very good, and I think they run okay on the Series X or something like that as far as I'm aware. It's like, but I think again. Just the 60 frames per second remaster for PS5 and all that stuff should be more than enough to satisfy people that like these games. Like it shouldn't be that hard, really.
It shouldn't be that hard. Why is it so hard?
I mean, it's like because we have these pixel remasters, we have remasters of
and they just remade Dragon Quest 3 in HD 2D, and it looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. Like so yeah, they did that. So come on, guys, just throw these 13 games onto the PS5. I think people would be fine would enjoy it. Because I'm sure there's a whole other Final Fantasy audience that hasn't played these games yet, and probably have heard a lot about them, but can't play them due to certain means, and so I think handing them out on a modern console will probably get them to play it.
Yeah, you gotta walk down hallways in 4K.
Yeah, why not? I love walking down hallways in 4K. I love walking down the hallways in real life.
Okay, to be fair, Trails does that a lot too. Yeah. So I shouldn't be one to talk, but but Trails is actually good.
Trails is actually good. Yeah, take that square.
All right. And now I have an extra remaster, comparatively. Let me just check it.
Yeah.
Recording. Yeah. Okay. I have an extra remaster on my list, and it is Tales of Symphonia: Dawn of the New World. Now I know what you're thinking. Blah 6. Tales of Symphonia's remaster sucks. And I'm here to tell you that it has been fixed since you last checked on it.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't it get fixed?
Yeah, it has been updated since launch, and it is now much improved.
That's good.
So my thought process is, if they already realize that they need to do a better product from the very beginning, then do it with Tales of Symphonia: Dawn of the New World, the official sequel to one of the most beloved action RPGs of all time, Tales of Symphonia.
Huh.
I have seen. Yeah, I do have this game on PlayStation 3 through digital means, and also the Chronicles 2-in-1 collection, and also the Wii version. So I have plenty of ways to play it. Problem is that none of them are on modern consoles. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is that I really like what I have seen in the game, which I will admit is probably more than I should, because I've seen everything. I've seen the ending. I've seen all the talking scenes. I've seen the gameplay. I've seen like so many things about this game, and I really want to experience it on a modern console.
Mm-hmm.
Like Emil, Marta, Tenebrae, and all of one new character, and all the ones returning from Symphonia. Just like, I want it all.
I want.
I don't care. I want it now. All right, and ooh, excuse me. Yeah, and yeah, just it would look really good and everything. I'll be right back.
So, how are you all today? Good. I'm just sitting here browsing through the Twitter, or the X. I don't like to call it X, I like to call it Twitter, because it's Twitter. Looking at some deals. Like, ooh, the Neo collection is $20. But I already have it, so it's fine.
I think we've exhausted remasters specifically. So let's go on to the remakes, and we're gonna start with one of yours. Let me see. Here we go.
Aha. Yeah, I think people, including myself, have been asking for a remake of Dino Crisis for quite some time now. Because I mean, even today, the game on PS1 is really good. But I do think giving it the modern treatment that games like the Resident Evil remakes, especially Resident Evil 4, giving that treatment, but with Dino Crisis, would definitely like skyrocket like the scariness of this game. Because I mean, like, again, the game is still plenty scary, but imagine putting it on with the modern on the RE engine. Like, this game would be terrifying. And yeah, I mean, and people love dinosaurs, and people love dinosaurs.
Barney exists.
What?
Yeah, Barney exists.
Yeah, Barney exists. Like,
he's fucking terrifying.
Still running. Jurassic Park series is still going strong. I mean, like, people love Barney the Purple Dinosaur. I mean, why not? Why not just have Dino Crisis? Bring Dino Crisis back. And again, a lot of people have been asking for it. So why not just say, okay, fine, we'll do it. I mean, what other incentive you guys need? I mean, do you guys not like money? You'll do things like Resident Evil Resistance or Resident Evil Reverse that nobody wants, but you won't make a Dino Crisis remake.
Yeah, isn't that just the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see the appeal. All right,
Yeah.
My first one is another bang bang shooty game. It is Far Cry 2. I tried to play Far Cry 2 a while ago because like the healing animations and all the interesting interesting animations, like all the ways that you could get injured and heal yourself and everything like that, it looked really fascinating. And I bought it on the Series X fucking thing, and all the boosts and everything. And I tried playing it. I got like 5 hours in, and I couldn't take it anymore.
I can't do it.
It feels like this is... Like, I can see where Far Cry 3 would pick up the pieces and make a really fantastic game. But this has a lot of potential with all the kinds of different animations and everything, like I said. And like you get diamonds, you buy upgrades for your weapons and everything like that. Yeah, just like maybe streamline that system a little bit, maybe add actual currency and everything, and like maybe add in an actual skill tree as opposed to whatever the hell I couldn't even get to it. And like you could literally get your own safe houses. Like they literally did this better in Far Cry 4, where you did have a safe house and everything. And heck, just maybe have that be on a slightly smaller scale. Add in herbs to farm and everything. Like it would be fantastic, really. Like they have the quality of life things that they've done over the course of the next 3 games, and they could really just make it look fantastic and everything. Like, I will give Far Cry 6 some credit. It looks amazing. Just do Far Cry 2 again in Far Cry 6's engine, and you would be all set.
Yeah,
well, of course, revert all the shitty things that happened in Far Cry 6, as far as like bring back the skill tree, bring back the and everything like that. It just make it like Far Cry 5 and New Dawn, but place it in 6's engine, and you'd be all set.
Yeah.
And like, there's a buddy system. As much as I despise them going for co-op, especially in 6, I
Mm-hmm.
Like it could easily just be like play as one of those characters and have there be co-op. So I'm not opposed to it. Like this actually makes sense to have co-op in.
Yeah.
So yeah. And like you don't normally have so many water vehicles and everything actually have it being there being a point to it and everything. Like just like I've been an avid player of Far Cry since 3, and I just feel like 2 could use some improvements from later on in the series. It has a
Mm-hmm.
lot of potential, and I hope that they revisit it at some point. All right, your next one is Xenosaga.
Oh yes. Yeah, these games are great, but I would just love to see them on the Xenoblade engine. Especially since like the games like kind of like change style through every game. Like the first game was it was very like almost it was very anime. The second game was like, oh, let's do realistic, and then the third game was like, oh, let's find a medium between the two. I think doing like a remake.
Oh, you mean like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword?
Yeah, pretty much. So I think doing a remake that has like a straight up consistent art style for all three games, pretty much like how Xenoblade Chronicles X looks. I think that's like the happy medium. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and X are like the happy medium that I feel like the Xenosaga remake should strive to go for if they do a remake of that. And I mean, I don't know that I don't think they need to get rid of the turn based gameplay. I think it's perfect. I think it's perfectly good.
Yeah, as
But
some yeah, like if
but
any
I do think the second game is the one where they need to change up the turn based gameplay because that's the one that they switched up between the two games, and that's the one that's the more divisive. Where people are like, "Hey, this battle system, even though it's turn based, is really weird. You have to press button combinations for the maximum impact of your attacks."
you
This
want to
is
know what they
weird.
should do? They should have the combat be like how it is in Trails Through Daybreak, where
Yeah.
where you can do combat kind of similar to how it is in Xenoblade Chronicles, where wait, actually no, what the hell am I saying? I've never played one of those. Like you can do two ways to do it. You can either use like uh like combos and magic in the overworld,
Mm-hmm.
well, combos and arts in the overworld, or you can set up. I forget what the hell they're called. You can literally just like do like a thing. Oh, you could set up shards, which activates turn-based mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anything, just make it like that, and it should be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, like a more consistent art style, more consistent battle system. With the story, I know that they planned like 6 games of this, and like, but they had to downgrade it to 3.
No. That's the thing. Is that Xenosaga 1, 2, 3, Xenoblade 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's actually kind of like one of the funniest like one of the
Coincidences.
funniest like kind of things that they probably didn't expect that they ended up making the 6 games, but just not the way that they thought that they would. But for a remake of Xenosaga, they could definitely like maybe try to expand upon some things that they couldn't add the first time around. To make it like a little bit more complete, I guess. I mean, people say that part 3 did like a really good job in condensing everything that they wanted to do into one game. But I know like 1 and 2 were the ones that kind of spun its wheels a little bit. So if they could add some things into the 1 and 2 remake portion in order to make 3 feel like a culmination of what they just did in one and 2. So yeah, it's definitely it's a good game. It's a great game series that definitely deserves like the remake treatment, especially for fans that have only known the series through the Xenoblade Chronicles games.
Yeah, more games I won't be able to finish. All right, next for mine is okay. Oh, okay. Next up is Mario and Luigi Partners in Time.
Okay.
You'd think that after remaking Superstar Saga, they would go on to remake the, at the time, most unpopular of the Mario and Luigi games. But no, Alpha Dream decided to try to milk the golden cow, and all that came out is curds.
Mm-hmm.
And Alpha Dream went belly up. I think that honestly, with the team that made Brothership, the ones that also made Octopath Traveler and everything, they could, like with how the art style is and like how expressive all the characters are, I think they could make a really fantastic remake of Partners in Time.
Okay.
Like just with what I played of Brothership, it like has a lot of potential. Maybe make it so that the Bros moves are not items and actual Bros moves again. Like other than that, I would have no complaint. But then again, I don't know. Yeah, like if they have to retain it as being items, that's fine. But I don't know. It just feels like this game could definitely stand to be remade and be made better and everything. Like I've heard remixed music of the boss fight theme and the final boss theme, and like it has a shitload of potential. Holy crap! And maybe this time, please don't include a stupid side mode no one cares about. Yeah. Other than that,
what happened? What happened with the last one?
um,
Assignment was stupid.
Superstar Saga had Bowser's minions, and Bowser Jr.'s journey was in Bowser's Inside Story.
Okay.
It was just pointless RTS bullshit. Oh well, not even RTS. It was like I don't even know what the hell to describe it as. You kept on sending out minions and enemies, and the opposing force did the same thing, and they just fought. I don't know what. Like I don't I hate it. I hate it, and I never want to play that mode again.
Okay. Fair
Yeah, and so just like there's a lot of potential. Make using the Brothership engine, and it would be fantastic. All right, your next one is one in Dragon Guard 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mentioned this on the Dragon Guard 3 portion, where like I don't feel like that game deserves a remake as much as it does a remaster, because it does once it runs at 60, it'll definitely look almost as good as Nier Automata. I definitely think that Dragon Guard 1 and 2 are the ones in need of the remake, because its style is the most different from the later Yoko Taro games, and so and the gameplay nowadays for Dragon Guard 1 and 2 can be seen as very dated, very like clunky. Especially one's very clunky and very repetitive. It's kind of like a Muso game, like in the same vein of Dynasty Warriors or the Hyrule Warriors games, but it's way more simplistic and kind of boring. So I think either doing like a full on like Muso game, or just going to the character action game of 3 and Nier would definitely help the monotony of the gameplay, because I think story wise, especially 1, it's good as is, but they could definitely like redo the cutscenes to make it more pretty and all that. I think with 2, because 2 was the game that Yoko Taro barely had any involvement in, and it's kind of seen as the black sheep of the Dragon Guard games. Uh, but I think, but if maybe if Yoko Taro wanted to do like a remake, and they allowed him to go to 2 and add in some ideas that were rejected, that would be cool. And definitely redo the cutscenes for 2, because the cutscenes for 2 were really very low budget compared to everything else that have come out of the series. So yeah, definitely like a more consistent gameplay style, better graphics, like better controls and maybe like some added story beats is why I feel like these games deserve the remake treatment over something like 3, which I think is good as it just needs a 60 frames per second boost.
All right. My next one is a newcomer to my interest. Castlevania 64.
Here comes a new challenger.
Castlevania 64 Legacy of Darkness.
Aha.
I've been watching a playthrough of Castlevania Legacy of Darkness, and and the potential I see from this kind of 3D Castlevania and what they've been doing and what could be from a remake is astounding.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many things you could add, like permanent sub weapons, permanent sub weapon upgrades, permanent weapon upgrades, quality of life improvements, and just like make it look really fantastic. Bring back the violin title screen from the original Castlevania 64, and just like improve the gameplay overall, make all of them really fun to play. New difficulty modes. Just like I see so much fucking potential. And oh yeah, and also replace the fucking motorcycle skeletons with maybe ones on chariots to be actually time accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But like yeah, either way, point is like fucking phenomenal potential for this game. Yeah, Cornell, Reinhardt, Carey, Henry, all 4 of those fuckers could really use another chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Konami will Konami and probably never do it.
Yeah, Konami's gonna Konami.
Unless somebody pays them or some shit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I see a lot of potential. Like every time, like the shop has a lot of potential. The boss fights have a lot of potential. Just and like the camera could be improved. Like just a bunch of quality of life stuff. Maybe permanent sub weapons, permanent weapon upgrades, and all that shit. Just like all types of potential. I don't know why this game specifically like gets my mind racing as far as like this has so much potential, but I don't know. It just like it feels like it. Like maybe this is my Dino Crisis, like how you see a ton of potential that modern hardware and everything has given.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is my in version of that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Next for you is Parasite Eve 1 and 2.
Yeah. I don't think it needs to have like the remake treatment in terms of like on the scale of something like the Final Fantasy VII remake series. Like you don't need to make 3 games out of the first Parasite Eve game.
You think more like the difference between Resi 4 original, Resi 4 remake?
Yeah, that kind of difference. Only I do feel like this game should still retain the turn-based combat of the first game, and then the second game is more of a Resident Evil so like if they wanted to do remakes of 1 and 2 and but stick to that gameplay evolution, I think they can because they're both viable combat systems. But I think definitely giving it like the more high budget like look would definitely help sell some of its creature designs, so like the more the atmosphere, like giving it voice story cutscenes and story cutscenes would definitely be a huge boon on the storyline. But yeah, like and definitely a more of a graphics upgrade or a graphics overhaul would really make so like kind of like the beautiful grotesqueness of the world of Parasite Eve, I guess. And yeah, I think and people have been asking for remakes of at least the first game for a while now, and Like, who knows? Like, maybe Squirrel one day will just be like, okay, sure, why not? Here, we'll make one. Because I think the audience is there. Because I know 1 and 2 were definitely popular. I know 3 was. I know the third game that they made for the PSP wasn't very popular. But 1 and 2 were definitely seen in high regard for people, and I think they they would be a good audience, and then you could potentially get a new audience to check out these stories and figure out like, oh, what's the big deal about these games? You guys have been hyping this up for years. It better be good. Yeah, I think this one would definitely work as a remake, and yeah, again, you don't need to make 3 games out of it. You could just make a straight up remake of the first 2 games.
My last one is, well, it's Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, Plus 6, isn't Luigi's Mansion have a remake on 3DS already? Yes, and it's a shit remake.
It's bad. It's stupid.
Yeah. What I think they should do is go back to the draw. Like, it's not a bad. It's the reason why it's a bad remake is because it's on a fucking handheld.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like, just I would normally say something like, oh, just port the 3DS version to the Switch. No, get rid of Luigi. Improve everything about the it just make it look real nice and everything, and then and just make it so that it plays like the GameCube version and just looks much better and everything. You don't need to do anything fancy like, oh, we're Luigi. Like, no, we don't need that.
We don't need Luigi. He's too gooey.
Yeah, and not to mention, if they brought Luigi's Mansion to the Switch, that would mean that all 3 games are on the Switch, which would be insane.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that they're going backwards a little bit.
Yeah,
Luigi's Mansion 3 did so well that they're like, oh well, you're gonna bring Luigi's Mansion 1. It's like, yeah, we're gonna be bringing Luigi's Mansion to the Switch. Really? Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah, the thing about that is that I like 2. It has problems. The stupid fucking ice boss, it sucks, but like mostly everything else is pretty solid. Yeah, and then I think just bring over Luigi's Mansion 1 in a different remake without Luigi would honestly be fine. And if they do have to bring over Luigi, at the very least, maybe make it that it's online multiplayer. But other than that, yeah. All right, and now we're ending off with
my last remake.
Yeah, there's no nanomachines here. It's the original Metal Gear for MSX.
Oh man, no nanomachines son for this one. But yeah,
and honestly, real quick, considering what gets revealed at the end of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, this would be more relevant now than ever before.
Exactly. I think that's one of my biggest arguments. Why I think Metal Gear deserves a remake.
One last thing. Metal Gear Solid 5 should also get a next-gen upgrade. That's it.
Yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, like, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3's remake looks great. There's no denying that. But I do think of the games that deserve a remake more, it should have been the very first Metal Gear. And I'm sure. I was about to say, oh, maybe since Kojima is not involved, they probably wouldn't do it. But Kojima's not involved in the three's remake at all. But I think doing a remake of Metal Gear Solid, not Metal Gear Solid 1, but Metal Gear 1, to show people how the story originally began originally began like for the world, pretty much, not just for in continuity of the series, would be really fun. And to see like the genesis of some things like Frank Yeager becoming Cyborg Ninja and all that, and then the original death of Big Boss. That's because yeah, like you said, with Metal Gear Solid 5, like it pretty much filled the whole point of Metal Gear Solid 5, or the big twist of Metal Gear Solid 5, was to fill up a plot hole set up by Metal Gear 1 and 2 being like, hey, why is Big Boss still alive? And when he died in the first game, it's like, oh no, that was the guy from Metal Gear Solid 5 that died.
Yeah, that was Venom Snake.
Yeah, that was Venom Snake. That wasn't really Big Boss. And it's like which me who was aware of like the storyline of Metal Gear thought that was really cool. Like, but I think for new people who like probably played 5 and then saw that reveal, they'd be like, "What the hell was that all about? That was stupid."
Yeah, and you could literally just and if they did this remake, and like the Big Boss could have like a weird thing sticking out of his head, meaning like, oh, he really is Venom Snake.
Yeah, like so things like that would definitely work. I mean, he could bring David Hayter back if he wants. I know he's been gunning for another chance at Snake.
Well, that's assuming that he won't. Actually, wait a minute. He and Kojima left on bad terms, didn't they? Because
they did, but since he's like highly promoting the three's remake and is doing new voice lines for 3 and all that for the three's remake. Like he could play Solid Snake again for a remake of Metal Gear, and if they wanted to be super cheeky, get the Kiefer Sutherland back to play Big Boss.
That would be amazing. Get your waiting, huh?
Yeah, it's like that would be fun. And like
pretty good.
Like this game is like the perfect candidate for a remake. Like just because.
Yeah, not to mention they could really make the first actual Metal Gear, that giant fucking clunker over there, actually pretty intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of like this, like what looked like like a 5-foot like robot coming at you.
Yeah, not to mention this would take place after 5, so they could up the ante with oddly more technological things that they probably should be at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this is definitely like. I mean, again, it would probably like not happen, but I would like to see it happen.
Yeah.
Because Konami's gonna Konami, like you said.
Won't it always? All right, and I think we'll do a quick roundup of the ones that we've said for remasters: Deus Ex: Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. A lot of Telltale games before 2015, including Wallace and Gromit: Grand Adventures, The Wolf Among Us, and whatever else I don't remember. Skies of Arcadia Legends, Batman: Arkham Origins, and a what the fuck is it called?
Arkham Knight PS5 upgrade.
A modern console upgrade for Arkham Knight, Detroit Become Human, and Red Dead Redemption 2, same treatment, upgrade to modern consoles. Punch Out Wii, Tales Symphonia, Dawn of the New World, Dot Hack 1-4, Rule of Rose, Pokemon Coliseum, and XD Gale of Darkness, Drakengard 3, Sonic Unleashed, the Lightning Trilogy, and for remakes, Far Cry 2, Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, Castlevania 64 Legacy of Darkness, Luigi's Mansion, Dino Crisis, Xenosaga 1-3, Drakengard 1 and 2, Parasite Eve, and Metal Gear for the MSX.
Yes.
Alright. And with that long-winded stuff out of the way, I think it's time to call it. So, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully regular uploads will start up again either later this year or early next year. Things are just in a weird flux right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully...
holidays are coming up and all that.
Holidays are coming up, jobs being weird, moving, stuff happening. Yeah. So it's all sorts of weird. So hopefully things will normalize sometime early next year, but we'll see. All right. Signing off. Later, everyone.
Later.